It's time for the Daily Stand Up Podcast presented by Agile Dad with your host, Lee Henson. Without any further ado, let's get started. In sticking with the coaching theme, I thought we'd kick off one more coaching related topic. The next question that came in from one of our listeners, one of our subscribers, we appreciate all of you, is the difference between a Scrum Master and an Agile coach. And I think some people don't necessarily understand that, I guess people see it as a path that the Scrum Master is sort of a junior Agile coach position, and that through being a good Scrum Master, it's automatically going to make you an Agile coach at some point. That's not true. I think that we need to better understand what the difference in the roles are, although they do have some similarities, right? They do have some similarities, but I think that you need to really compare what the two do in order to better understand. Now, any of you or many of you have heard me always say the Scrum Master is like a doctor. They're diagnosing symptoms. They're constantly, checking the pulse and the heartbeat of what's going on around them. They are asking powerful questions. They are triaging. They are formulating solutions that make sense. And then they are bringing those solutions to the team to implement, like in the form of a prescription. So the Scrum Master is really focused on improvement with one group of people, and that will be teams. They will do anything they can to help the team be successful, including providing them with all the tools and all the tricks and all the tips and ways they can enhance their process. But they want to make sure that they're doing everything they can so that each team can successfully deliver product increment. Now, when it comes to the coach, that is only 1/3 of what the coach's responsibility is. The coach has to also ensure that they have a good working relationship with the product owner and that they're doing everything they can to help the product owner be successful in what they're trying to do. And they need to have a working relationship with leadership to help provide good information to leaders and have the right conversations about efficiency and organizational excellence and things along those lines. In other words, if you think of the Scrum Master as a facilitator for one or more teams, and then you think of the coach as a facilitator for the organization, that might help you see a little bit of the difference. The Scrum Master really needs to just hone in and understand what they can do to build relationships with team members and to make sure that they establish themselves as the single line of thought to help organizational impediments be removed and to help teams have the tools they need to be successful and to drive success. But if you zoom in on a coach, you'll see that the coach is one who has to establish credibility across an entire organization, that they need to help govern the teams and Scrum Masters to help make sure they're pushing in the right direction. Now, one thing that I have heard is I've heard people refer to the coach as kind of a super Scrum Master. I don't know that I would call them a chief Scrum Master, but I do know that it is imperative or important for the organization to really push for and understand what the coach does versus what other people do. And I think the coach needs to really dig deeper and figure out where they need to plant their flag. And let me explain what I mean by that. So, too often I see organizations quickly run through Scrum Masters and find one person that they believe can lead the whole organization and make that person a coach prematurely, only to find that that person doesn't have the skill set, talents, experiences, and things necessary in order to drive the organization to success. They may have been doing really well with one or two teams, but it's a whole different ball game when you're dealing with the entire organization. On the other hand, I've seen organizations say the Scrum Master role is insignificant and not important, and we'll just make team members Scrum Masters, and we'll just bring in a coach to govern all of those teams. Neither of those models are super effective, but I see it over and over. And I think part of it has to do with the understanding responsibilities and the expense behind having a full-time coach and a Scrum Masters and Scrum Masters that govern more than one team. But this is all symptomatic. What do I mean by that? I think that one of the top organizational issues that I see no matter where I go is delineating the difference and responsibilities across all the Agile roles. I see it all the time. It's one of my top three things: identification and delineation of agile roles. It is always a problem. So I guess what I'm trying to say here is based on the size of your organization, you need to formulate an approach of how you're going to discern the difference between what a scrum master does and what a coach does, and whether or not you're at a position where you need a coach. And when you get to that point, you want to make sure, sometimes more times than not, it's better to bring in someone who's a professional coach from an organization from the outside. The reason why I emphasize that is because scrum masters are great at handling internal things, and they see things through a lens that helps them quickly process information. A coach is better at seeing things from outside, taking a look at all the scenario based things around them and saying, okay, now that I properly understand from the outside what's happening, now I can go and make decisions that are going to impact the entire organization. And they can deal with and talk to even senior level leaders about the most severe problems. And they can, know with confidence that their voice is being heard, and that they can plan for proactive action that's going to impact the entire organization. So I guess what I'm trying to say is Scrum Masters have more of a local control of what's going on, where a coach has more of a global control of what's going on in an organization. Scrum Masters do their best to assist teams and govern teams to help them find pathways to success by allowing the teams to be empowered to remove impediments, and by helping them understand goals and setting goals and achieving them, where the coach is doing many of the same things, but for an organizational difference, and making sure that they're seeking out all the things from the outside that could be potentially impacting the team and the organization, and formulating ways to help the entire organization be successful, leveraging previous experience and success. So I hope this kind of nailed it down for you. If you want more information about this, I know we've got a couple of different podcast episodes about this. We even have a document that describes the agile roles. If this would be helpful to you, let me know, and we'll be sure to slap it down in the description so that we can get that out to you. So, as always, we hope you enjoyed this episode. If you have a topic you want us to discuss, reach out, learn more at agiledad.com. And as always, we encourage you to stay healthy, stay well, and stay agile, my friends. Until next time, do take care.